I am in Vientiane, the capital city of Laos, and this is going to be, unfortunately, the last episode that we make, at least for this series. But I think I want to finish with a walk through town. The Mekong River is next to us. It's actually very high at the moment, that's why it's flooded. And across this river will be Thailand. We are going to enter Thailand after this video. So this is a little bit of a sad one because I actually quite like Laos, and I'm looking forward already to go back here. But anyway, after this video you got quite a good idea what Vientiane looks like. At least I'm walking you through the busy part, the touristic part of town. Now let's cross this road and walk you through a little park. You have to run a little bit, the last bit. Gonna have to walk you through the park to get into town. This is actually where the night market is tonight. Every night there is a night market. Throughout this video I'm gonna give you my honest opinion about not necessarily Laos, the country, but just Vientiane, so you know what to expect when visiting Vientiane, so you don't have your hopes up, because I just want to start off with, this is not the most bubbly city. This is not the most energetic city. It does not feel like a capital city to me, although it does have a lot of good food, a lot of good restaurants, a lot of good hotels. It's got a bit of nightlife. It's not crazy, but you can definitely go out here. And yeah, it has this massive night market which is stretching out for about 1 kilometer, and a lot of locals are gathering together here to enjoy a little bit of food, but mainly it is clothing that they sell over here. So I've got a bit of a mixed feeling about the city, and I'm telling you throughout the video why I've got mixed feelings. I was here 13 years ago and not a lot of things has changed over here, although we do see some construction going on. We'll walk you past a few of them sites so you can have a look on what is going on here at the moment. It is filled with temples, which is beautiful. It is definitely a beautiful city to walk through. French colonial buildings, which some of them are well maintained, some of them are lacking on maintenance. There's a lot of Asian architecture around here as well, obviously. Now I have noticed that the rise of China is definitely has an impact here as well, and I don't want to put this in a negative daylight, but you can definitely see that a lot of investors are investing in Laos. I mean, it is bordering China, so I think it's only clever for China or for the Chinese investors to invest in Laos. Maybe it's not so good for the local people over here, because a lot of things turned really expensive in the last few years. This has several reasons. I'm not an expert, not a financial expert at least, so I cannot say so much about this topic. It does give also benefits. You know, a lot of billions and billions of dollars are getting invested into Laos. Its infrastructure is getting phenomenal if you can compare it to what it used to be. I'm talking about the high-speed bullet trains, I'm talking about the new highways, and there are a lot of nice buildings over here like these ones. And this is what I'm talking about, the French architecture, and this is well maintained. And then you go look across this street and it's a bit of a mixture of building sites. I mean, coming here in a few months, this is ready, and you see another massive building, well taken care of. This is also actually quite nice, so let's have a little peek. Here's where you can have a little lunch or coffee. It's a little cooler, you got the natural shading of the tree over here. It's quite an open area, restaurant, bar. And this is one thing. I'm not gonna be all too positive about Vientiane. I'm also showing you the negative things about it, or share my negative experiences later on. But the good thing is about this city is that there are many restaurants, bars like these scattered around the city. Memory Hotel. I'm not too sure how good this one is. And this is one of the downsides I can mention already straight off the bat. I have been with Nuna, my girlfriend, we've been to several, I think 4 or 5 different hotels in different price categories, and we found out that if you are coming from Thailand and you spend the same budget, the standard here is a little bit lower. I think you can get a good hotel from maybe 1500 baht. And then you are in a good hotel. If you spend less than that, we noticed that the rooms can smell quite bad. The bathrooms look quite dirty. Even if you spend like 800 baht. Also depends on where you are in Thailand, but for 800 baht, you normally can get a clean room, no issues with any leaking water taps in the bathroom. We find our hotels always in Agoda, and yeah, we are not really amused most of the time because we're spending like 800-900 baht. I recommend if you come here and you do want to stay in a nice private room, clean, not smelly, yeah, spend at least 1100-1200 baht. Go from there. That's going to be your starting point, at least for Vientiane. Cleanliness, well, you see some garbage here and there, but they keep the streets quite clean. No complaints about this. You do smell here and there the garbage or a sewer, but overall it's actually a pretty clean city. If you compare this to any city in the world, this is actually very clean. One of the most beautiful things here is these temples. You know, you've got many temples, and I am not a Buddhist myself, but it is just calm and peaceful all the time whenever you enter such a temple ground. It's just nice, and there's always some natural shade of these massive trees. The holy, like some of the trees are holy or considered holy. Like this tree is, I don't know how many hundreds of years old. And there are also, and this is also one of the most beautiful things here in the city. Don't get me wrong, it is very different than Kuala Lumpur, but I know Kuala Lumpur in Malaysia, they have also that forest inside of the city. Now this is nothing like Kuala Lumpur, but they do have these trees, similar trees standing around the city. The city is quite spread out. It doesn't have many high buildings. It does not even have a population of 1 million. A lot of massage shops, actually pretty good restaurants. The standard here, you have to pay a little bit more for this, but the standard of the restaurants over here are quite high. I was surprised about this because, yeah, if you see the roads, for example, then you don't have a lot of expectations about the restaurants, but the restaurants are overall quite new. But yeah, the roads inside the city as well, they're not really well maintained. I'm not too sure why this is, and maybe this will be a future project. Not everything is high standard. No, you also can just have like your local food, which is high standard, don't get me wrong, but not very expensive. Yeah, then again, we're just gonna walk you through town and show you what Vientiane looks like, the capital city of Laos. And we are just covering the heart of town. It is afternoon, 12 o'clock. And at 12 o'clock, it's getting really busy in the restaurants. So if you want to have peace and quiet, you're gonna have to book your lunch at 1 o'clock, because otherwise it will be very busy. You're gonna have to wait a little bit longer for your food. This is a food court, I point out in the description, is a food court outside with a lot of different food from all over the world. Yeah, pretty lively it gets, especially around this area. This is where the city actually comes to life in the evening. Not so much in the afternoon. First time I arrived, I did not like the city so much because I was exploring it during daytime. And during daytime, it is a little bit boring to walk around here. It is hot, there are not many people on the streets. You do see a lot of restaurants like these. You know, this is proper. You got about 24 to $1. You're looking at $2 or $3 for a dish over here. They have bilao for less than $1. It's just filled with these places. So one of the best things about this city, the restaurants. One of the downsides of this city, the construction sites, and maybe the bad smell here and there. This city can host a lot of backpackers, but it also has a lot of luxurious hotels. There is a new hotel opening by Hilton, and yeah, the prices are going from $100 to $300, actually proper 5-star luxury. Architecture, it is filled with different looking buildings, and not one building is the same. It is beautiful. You cannot just stop walking. For days and days you can just stroll around the city and explore different neighborhoods with different architecture. Not one building is looking alike. And this is what I'm talking about, the Asian style. A lot of teak wood is used for a lot of buildings. Beautiful. Coconuts, big bonus, always there. Great breakfast is pretty much always around the corner, no matter where you stay inside of the city center. There are pharmacies inside of the city, bigger ones and smaller ones, but no matter what you need, they probably will have something here in the city. Laos itself is quite poor, especially if you go traveling off track a little bit and you need medical attention. You do need to travel to a bigger city. Vientiane is not famous for its great hospital, so if they are really in trouble, they do have good care centers over here, good healthcare centers. But yeah, you do probably gonna have to go across the border into Vietnam or into Thailand if you have serious trouble. One of the bigger ads is this beauty over here. This is the DoubleTree by Hilton. We've got the Hard Rock Cafe that we passed. Only 15,000 kip for a beer with happy hour between 4 and 7. What more do you want? Oh, you want coffee? Definitely they have it here. And there are many different cafes scattered around the city. It is fabulous. And this is also one little strip which they're working on, and it's pretty much all finished. Within a half a year's time, this is going to be all done up nicely. And I think there are still opportunities here. I'm not too sure if this is for sale. Now this new luxury 5-star hotel is here. This street is getting even more alive than it already is. Opposite of the street is Kop Chai De. It is actually a very good restaurant to get introduced. If you are starting your journey here, to introduce yourself with the Lao food. Kop Chai De, highly recommended, amazing food. And this is all next to one of the Amazons here. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, this is Vientiane, Laos in 2024. I hope you are able to visit this magnificent city. 13 years ago I was here the first time. Not a lot of things have changed, but I do see that a lot of things are changing right now. And I'm pretty sure that in 13 years from now, this city is gonna be booming, and there are a lot of business opportunities here. Yes, China is also investing a lot of money, but I do think that a lot of different countries are investing as well. Maybe not so much as China. I really hope more countries are investing in Vientiane, so it doesn't turn into a mini China. It's turning into like a world city rather than anything else. There are not even 1 million people living in Vientiane. No, there is no BTS, no SkyTrain. But yeah, I think the roads can handle the amount of traffic that is driving here right now. If you're used to the Grab app or Bolt, well, here they don't have this. They have Loca. This is an app where you can order your taxi, and it gives you different options if you want to go budget or you want to arrive in an SUV or something. This is also possible there on this app. It's very easy to rent motorbikes over here. The traffic is not so bad, to be honest. If you compare to the neighboring countries, the traffic is quite mellow, although you have to be really careful because there are a lot of potholes and you don't want to have a road accident. Here in Laos. You don't want to have that at all anyway. But make sure you are well insured traveling to Southeast Asia. Now a lot of countries are covered, also if you are outside of your own country. Now this is not always the case, so you better check that. In my opinion, there are not many sightseeing places over here. If you've been to other cities in Southeast Asia, this is definitely a unique city. It has a calm vibe to it. I think you should visit it, maybe 3 nights, 4 nights max, and then you pretty much have a good impression of what the city is like. I do recommend, if you do only spend 4 nights here, consider to spend some time in the weekends. People of Laos are very friendly, and they have, most of the people, they have time off on Sunday. Or at least most of the city people, I should say. Compared to Thailand, there are a few things more expensive and there are a few things cheaper going to sightseeing things. The prices, they do have foreign prices, but they're not going through the roof like in Thailand is happening sometimes when you pay like 400 or 500 baht to enter a national park. This is not happening so much over here. So it is a little bit cheaper compared to Thailand when it comes to this. Also drinking over here, your beer Lao, which is actually a decent beer. Yeah, this is like maybe half the price, sometimes 3 times less the price than in Thailand. So even with the $40 visa cost going into Laos, Laos is pretty similar compared to Thailand when it comes to the cost of living. This channel is based in Thailand. We're showing you the beauty of Southeast Asia via these slower vlogs, but also some faster pace. And I'm doing a lot of street interviews to get a better understanding of what other people think, not only sharing my experience. Thank you all for watching till the very end. I'd like to say from Vientiane, the capital city of Laos, bye for now and stay champ.